something that we deeply want to do in our life when it comes to clutter. Perhaps we rationalize that this is not life and death. This is something that can wait. Yes, it's important, but not urgent. And in doing so, we kind of talk ourselves out of it. We just never get started. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to this, because I certainly can. There are a couple of reasons why this happens to us and why it's kind of common to all of us as human beings. But before I dive into that, let me say hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julie. I create content to help you live that clutter-free life. So back to the video, why do we talk ourselves out of just doing something that perhaps won't take very long? Well, firstly, we perceive a task to take a lot longer than it actually does. Be it calling a pediatrician for an appointment, updating the baby book, decluttering a bathroom drawer. We build it up in our brains and then we just never get started because we're too intimidated before we even try. We perceive a task to take so much longer than it actually does in real life, whether that's a mini pantry makeover, purchasing a birthday present for a friend in your child's class on Amazon, meal planning for the week. Often we just get hooked up on making the decision of what to buy, what to choose, where to even begin. And then we are paralyzed in action. And the last thing is that we are afraid of the task without us even admitting it. Perhaps we're nervous to send that email because we're worried what the response would be, or we don't want to declutter a photo album or a box that has sentimental items because we're worried about the feelings that it will evoke within us. The tricky thing is, these kinds of things in life will continue to surface and present themselves to us if we don't tackle them head on. And often just getting started, dealing with it is so much less intimidating, so much less scary than what we build up in our minds. And the flip side is that when you don't tackle these things and you let them kind of fester in your subconscious, you can never really relax. You can never really unplug. You can never just enjoy being present because there's always something that's gnawing at you that perhaps is not urgent, but is important and will need to get done come hell or high water. So how do we just tackle this head on? The solution that I have found that works for me is that taking action puts me in motion. And most of these tasks take less than 5 minutes to start, often 5 minutes to complete, and can be broken down into 5-minute increments. And when you start to look at it like that it only takes 5 minutes to get something done and knock things off your to-do list, you start to realize that this is actually attainable for you. Don't trust me, this is science. An object in motion stays in motion. How do you convince your brain that's trying to keep you safe that things just take 5 minutes and that you can actually get started and you're not gonna die? Well, you have to start converting things into 5-minute increments. Your brain can handle 5 minutes, and when you think about it, you're like, I can do anything for 5 minutes. It's just 5 minutes. Your brain builds up all of these ideas as to why you can't do anything in a sort of misguided protection. It's trying to keep you safe, true, but it also keeps you small. It keeps you in your comfort zone, and you never can kind of grow and get beyond where you are right now. You feel stuck, and you never are able to achieve the goals that you want, whether that is having a clutter-free home, or having inbox zero, or tackling all that sentimental stuff that you inherited from your grandma that you just don't even want to think about. Because truth be told, that stuff is weighing you down. It is preventing new experiences and new things coming into your life because there's no space, because you're holding on so tight to the things that keep you safe. You can never really fly and just be. Our brain justifies that there are risks and no reward, but think how many times you've taken a risk. I think of the times I've taken risks in my life, and often when it has been something that's scary, when I don't overthink it and I just do and I take a risk, most of the time it pays off. I think about the things I've done, moved overseas or across the world, had children, taken on certain jobs, gotten married. Everything in those kind of scenarios is risky, and I would not be living this full life that I'm living now if I didn't just sort of jump off the proverbial cliff and go for it. If I overthought all of those things, I would never do half of them. The same is true about things that are cluttering up your life and your mind. Over the next few days, I recommend that you try and implement this 5-minute rule. So something that is only going to take 5 minutes to get started or to complete, you have to do it. So I challenge you, make a list of all the things that you want to do and start to check those babies off. Don't overthink. Dial that phone number, send that email, declutter that bathroom drawer, open that photograph album, go through that shelf or that cupboard in your kids' room and get rid of all of the clothes that they don't wear, that are stained, that have rips in them. Put them in your donation bag, because once you get started, that momentum continues for you. So you take that donation bag, you take 5 minutes, you pack everything in your car, you take another 5 minutes to start the car and drive to the donation center. Once you're there, you give them the bag, all 5 minutes, to create the task of something that's been weighing you down. And then you wash, rinse, repeat, because if you can do that once, you can do it again. You can follow the formula, remember it's science, and you can start to declutter every area of your life just 5 minutes at a time. And let me tell you, the time that you gain back from doing all of these things, that is priceless. That is much longer than 5 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, I think you will enjoy this one on emotional decluttering, as well as my playlist on how to live a clutter-free life. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I have one small favor to ask. If you received value from this video, please go ahead and click that like button. It looks like a thumbs up. And I would love for you to subscribe so that I can continue bringing you videos every week to help you live that clutter-free life. Remember to be kind to those around you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.